Welcome, welcome, welcome. I got a special video in store for you today. I just got off a student coaching call and he gave me the permission to share this video with you today. So stay in store, and I've actually taken the liberty of writing down every little timestamp. So below in the first comment, you can click through and see any part that you want to learn from when we're talking about reviews, when we're talking about product launching, accounting, Facebook ads, Q4 prep. We've covered all these topics and you can see all the timestamps below. I really hope you drop a thumbs up on this video and hit me up on Instagram if you want to learn more how you can start Amazon yourself. Let's jump right into it.
So there's so many gurus out there, man, and they all say the same thing. They got the best course. Everyone says they've got the best course, and so I had a hard time kind of letting that settle in. And I did take a wholesale course last year with Larry Labarsky. Watch Me Amazon, and I paid, I think, $1,500 for his course. It's a really legit course. And so I was lucky with that, but I wanted to start doing private label, but there's a lot of names and a lot of guys out there, and I wasn't really quite sure. And so I was having a hard time. So just randomly, out of serendipity or whatever you might want to call it, I was actually on YouTube trying to figure out a problem that I had on creating a listing. And somebody on there mentioned your name. And they said, yeah, go follow Luke W. He does a lot of FBA stuff. So, and that's really what I was wanting to go there for, was the IP generator, accelerator. So I went there, I watched your video, and then I watched a couple of other your videos. And then I saw the video where you were just out shooting guns in Washington, in the wilderness. I was like, hey, that's my guy. That's what we do here too. We go camping up in the Sierras here, and we like to shoot, just be out in the wilderness. And then you talked about like gold panning. I said, this guy sounds pretty legit. And then when we spoke, I just had that, I think this guy's pretty legit. And then we did a few messaging back and forth. And then I purchased the course. And I think I told you that I wasn't going to be able to get into the course right away because I had a road trip planned. And so literally when I went on my road trip with my family, I took my earpods and I just listened to the course on my drive. And then I would probably make a couple notes here. Okay, go back and listen to this module, module 3, this section, module 6, this section. So when I came back, I had already went through the course, and I just came back and just listened to those few modules that I needed to listen to. So I was able to get through it pretty well. But overall, man, your course is very detailed. It's literally like step-by-step instructions. It's right straight to the point. There's no clips of you dancing or skateboarding in the beginning. You just go right straight into business. You talk straight business only. And what I like about it as well is that literally your clips are like 5 minutes, 7 minutes. I don't even think there's one longer than 10 minutes. I don't think. 2-minute little clips, and very self-explanatory. And I thought, these other dudes are charging $2,000, $5,000, and I don't know if they offer the same thing that you've offered. You've taken some courses, so it's just crazy, what you have to offer right now.
Right, and the one-on-one mentor thing is just huge on top of it, because the other guys' courses, they've given me their courses, like KT9, some of these other guys, and they're $1,500, $2,000 courses. I've watched through their course. They gave it to me for free. And they are doing what you're talking about. They're dancing and literally singing like intros before this.
Right.
I'm like, okay, I mean, save that for YouTube or whatever. But here in the course, it's like,
right.
And then it's an endless supply of videos where you never know even when to start, because it's literally video after video after video. With that said, I mean, I just want to also see kind of what main questions you have. I'm sure you have some product research idea questions, and that's kind of what I can share with you. Also some help on that. But any other things, like, do you have an account set up? What else?
Well, I've been doing FBA wholesale for probably about 9 months now. But the little kicker to wholesale is you got to share the buy box, and when you're sharing the buy box, like just this morning, I had some issues. I had a product that just came in last week, and it literally blows out right away. But with the whole COVID thing and Amazon's fulfillment, there's been some setbacks on their fulfillment centers. And so literally this product is like sitting right now because somebody else has the buy box and I have to wait for them to sell out before I get my turn. And the only other part about wholesale is that, it's almost like a race to the bottom. So I'll have something priced at $21.99. There's some sucker on there that's got something at $21.98, and then somebody else the next day will be $21.97. It's basically just driving the prices down. Overall, wholesale is a good business model, but you really, really got to work it really, really hard and scale it up high to be successful with it. Whereas with private label, you could have like 10 products and just be kind of set there, and just let that ride for a while. And that's really why I wanted to learn the private label thing. One other thing that I wanted to add before I move on to my questions, though, is that when I messaged you, that was kind of like a green light for me because, we DM people on Instagram, and this one other individual that had a Shopify course, I was asking him about his course, and we were going back and forth, and his course was like $2,500, and I literally was about to buy it. I literally was this close to buying the course. And I asked him one simple little friendly question that threw a red flag. And this is how you can differentiate the gurus from the real guys, is because I'm originally from Central America. I'm from Panama, down south, right? And so this guy, he's also from down there. He's from South America. And so I asked him, I said, what part of Uruguay are you from? Well, he didn't answer my question. We went back and forth, and then we talked about the course, whatever. And then later on the next day, I asked him, I said, hey, my cousin lived in Uruguay. What part are you from? And then he responds like, hey, why are you wasting my time with such questions? Do you want to get into the course, join the family? And that was a red flag. What that told me was, that's not even the dude right there. That's probably his VA or some assistant that he hired. And Luke, dude, I would have been totally fine if he came in and said, hey, I'm not really so-and-so, but I manage his Instagram account. Is there anything I can answer? I would have been totally fine with that. But coming on and saying you're somebody that you're not is just like a total red flag to me, And so when I messaged you and we had that phone call, that's kind of like, no, this guy is who he says he is, a skateboarder that loves the outdoors, that lives up in Washington. That's who I'm actually really talking to, right? So and that's what. And for those people that are out trying to find a course, I mean, I just say you got to really dive in to see who that mentor is and really know who they are, because there's a lot of scammers out there that literally just want your money and to no benefit to us, Wow. So anyways, I just wanted to kind of throw that in there as well.
Dude, this, if you don't mind, like, I think just that whole intro talking about wholesale, all this stuff, I could even throw this up on a video or share some clips on my IG. Do you care about that stuff at all, or?
No, I don't mind at all. As a matter of fact, probably here after Q4, because we're going to get into my product research and what I've done here and some questions I have, but probably after Q4, I'd like to get on another call with you if you don't mind, and kind of see where I'm at with private label. I know where I'm at with wholesale, but private label, I'm just launching off. And so it would kind of be a good plug for your course to say, hey, this guy started with 0 from private label, and here he is 6 months later. So anyways, getting right into it. So a couple of things. We're sourcing products from overseas, specifically from China. When it comes down to the shipping, what's your preference as far as, do you go FOB, DDP, EXW? What are you looking for when you go to solidify that?
So I can even show you, and it might be a little hard to screen share. I don't know if you're on a computer or a phone, because usually I would screen share, and I could maybe even do that, but I'll just start by answering the questions. And really it's DDP, and I have my suppliers ship everything into Amazon's warehouses, and I look on the supplier's website. You can see their product, and then you can click on their website. You want to make sure they're a manufacturer/trading company. And there's actually a new course update I'm going to probably have out by the end of this month, where I'm going to include some of the highlights from these coaching calls to have everyone else's questions answered. So we're going to throw those in there, as well as some more just kind of overall stuff that I've been getting more questions with as I've gotten a whole lot more students and things I want to update the course with. But you want to make sure it's a manufacturer slash trading company, because if it's just a trading company, they're going to be a middleman and they're not going to give you the lowest price. And if it's just a manufacturer, they're probably not going to be skilled in arranging shipments for you. So you want to have that manufacturer slash trading company. And it's pretty easy to verify that. It's just on the company profile right below that. You see it says manufacturer or trading company or whatever, or both. And that's what you want to find. And then I do like 20 units by air and 80 units by sea, just because if you ship everything by DHL air shipping, and I think I mentioned that in the course, DHL, that's going to be the most expensive, crazy thing to do. And honestly, you want to maybe ask for, I mean, you can do the 20 units by air with DHL, have something in to play with in your first week after they ship. And then, you know, you start getting your ranking, a couple reviews, having some friends buy them. By the time you're almost sold out of those, your sea shipment will have arrived, which had saved you hundreds of dollars instead of doing everything by air. You have others coming in by sea, and then you're able to work with the listing you've already worked on your ranking with and everything.
Okay, great. So now, what are you finding as far as DHL air? So if you're going to order 20 of a particular product, what's the turnaround time going in, the time it gets to your door in Washington?
So it doesn't come to my house at all. You know, it goes straight into Amazon.
That's right. That's right. So what are you finding as far as the time it gets into the States, so to speak?
So with DHL, you know, I mean, it's been this whole pandemic thing, so shipping times and whatever has been a little thrown off, but I just had a DHL shipment that I set out for, and they say it comes in 4 to 7 business days, and it arrived on like pretty much the 7th business day, and it was checked into Amazon's warehouses, and that was the first 20 units. And you have to make 2 shipping plans with that order. You know, you need a shipping plan for the air shipment and then a separate shipping plan for the sea shipment. It's really easy, and when you have issues or whatever, I can help you with that along the way. But it's very straightforward to make 2 different plans. And sometimes, as a bonus tip, it's like you can ask your supplier, I know maybe producing all 100 units might take a little bit more time, but when you have those first 20 units, can we get those shipped out like right the second they're done? And I'll get that shipping plan for you. And then the other 80 units, you know, take another week or something to make those, and then we'll send those out after that. And then the sea shipment's going to take 20 to 25 days.
Yeah. Are you finding, though, that the 20 units that you're shipping by air, is that cost effective? I mean, you're talking air shipment is pretty expensive. So are you significantly finding some savings or some benefit by going that route?
Yeah, it's definitely a lot better, because you're going to kind of lose some momentum if you place an order and you're just sitting around for another month being like, what do I do now? Like, yes, you have time to optimize your listing and all this, but getting that little head start and spending a couple $100 extra is going to benefit you so much, because you'll have those products to start getting reviews and ranking for, so that by the time you're almost sold out, it literally works perfectly. When your sea shipment hits, you're just about sold out. It's not like you're going to get your 20 units in and they're going to sell out immediately. You're going to be on page 8 or whatever, page 10. So you need to build ranking. You're not just going to sell out right away, especially with 0 reviews. And then at the end of the day, we're using the Helium 10 profit calculator to see, you know, what the fees and costs are going to be after we're factoring in the shipping with the air and the sea. So we already see the total cost from our supplier, and then we're putting that in. You know, the total cost is going to be divided by however many units you're getting to come out with the total item cost. You put that in there, you put maybe the lowest price that you plan to sell it for ever, and then you see, okay, this is the lowest price I can break even with. And yeah, wow, if I price it there, my product's going to sell all day, even with 0 reviews or whatever. And then you put in your highest price that you hope to sell it for, and you're like, okay, that's the most profit I can expect per unit on these. And then, you know, take that conservative look in the beginning, though, to see, you know, this is the lowest price I can sell for with the cost I'm getting from my supplier. And the cost savings is huge. You know, when you do the sea shipping, you'll save hundreds of dollars. It might cost you like, it all depends on the size and weight of your item for the air shipment. And if you're shipping a big item, you know, maybe it doesn't make sense to do 20 units. Maybe it's 10 units, just something to get, you know, you could get 6 or 10 reviews going. And that's going to be huge by the time you get your product in.
So it's basically the incentive of having your product early so you can start working on your listing, working on the photos, working on ranking. So by the time your other units come in, you're basically just ready to go from there, you know? So I guess you could count that as a launching expense, that extra, money that you would spend for the air shipping, just count that as a launching expense and not necessarily look for profits, even though you may have some profits in those 20 units that you're getting by air. Realistically, the goal is just to get it soon so you could prepare for the main stuff that's coming in. Okay, that answers that. Now, how are you in connection with that with shipping product via air and land, working with the supplier? When you are you sending the suppliers the FN SKUs, or are you sending them UPC codes?
You just need your UPC code to set up a listing. And maybe you've noticed in the Facebook group with the students, some people are having issues. Amazon has now
Yep,
updated their platform, and now they're like, hey, these UPC codes don't work
they don't work.
anymore. And
Right,
but honestly, they do work for some people, and they work for me. My old UPC codes I bought when I started Amazon, I still use those and they still work. And then I might hand one to a friend and it doesn't work for them. And what's even more weird is that I had a
oh,
lady pay me just to get on a call with her and literally like put one of my UPC codes, or actually her same UPC code, in her listing and do her listing for her. And it worked. Like, I don't know, like, if she did something wrong, or usually what I like to do is really make the bare bones listing really fast and simple. I just plug a quick title in, plug this in, plug that in, and press save and finish as fast as I possibly can, because I can always go back and edit it once it's saved and that
right,
UPC code is
right.
secured. But some people play around and try and do all this dickering around, and then they're realizing, hey, there's like an error here. So I don't know how that whole thing is going about. That's going to be another update vid in the course. But the G10 exemption thing is, made specifically for private label products. Like, normal private label products don't have a UPC code on the back like every
Right.
other product sold in the stores. So, you just tell Amazon these are solely sold in the Amazon warehouses, and
Right.
there's going to be that update video as well showing you kind of how to get that. And I need to get it out there really fast, but it's really kind of easy. If you just go in Seller Central in the help bar, type in G10 exemption, and you'll see how you can apply for it. And it's pretty straightforward.
Right, right. So usually they give you a couple days, and then you can go in and create the listing, and then at that point the UPC code is not necessary. So when you send the suppliers the whether it be an FN SKU or UPC code, then they're going to ship directly to the fulfillment warehouse. Are they going to be mandated to ship to like 5 different warehouses in the States, or can they just ship to one location?
Yeah, and just to follow up with the last question, it was like, you're just going to send them the Amazon barcode. The FN SKU is what they're
Right,
going to put on each item, not the UPC code. The UPC code is just to make the listing. The FN SKU, like in the course video, is just to put on each item. That's all you're going to send your supplier. You print your item labels after you make that bare bones listing. You send them to the supplier. You send your logo there. They put the logo and the barcode on the product, and then the only other thing you send them is the box shipping labels. In the course, I have the video about the inventory placement service, and you can do that if it does tell you to send to 3 warehouses and you've deleted a shipping plan, gone back, tried to recreate another one. It's still, sometimes the first time you do it, it might say, hey, send to these 3 warehouses. The next time you delete the plan and do it again, it might say 1 warehouse. And
yeah,
I always get lucky, and I don't know, it just depends on where your supplier's based or whatever, or how many units you're ordering. And they always have me send to 1 warehouse. But if it always says 3 or whatever, you can go to the inventory placement service
yep.
video and pay like 50 cents or 15 cents. I forgot exactly what it is per unit. There's a help page on Amazon that shows you how much the fees are for that. And you can have it specifically sent to 1 warehouse, so it's not crazy confusing. And
Right.
and then the box idea is your suppliers need to tell you the box dimensions, the box weights, how many units are in each box. These are all the little criteria that the shipping plan in Amazon asks you. So you just go ahead and ask your supplier, hey, what's the weight? What's the boxes? How many boxes are we shipping? How many units in each box? You take all that info, you plug it into your shipping plan, you print your box labels, send them to the supplier. Your supplier sticks them on the boxes, then they ship them right into the address where the shipping plan told you to send them.
Okay, so now when we're creating those box labels, let's say we're doing UPS, um, parcels. We got 4 big boxes or whatever via UPS, and they say they weigh 30 pounds a piece. So is Amazon going to have a problem with these things coming from China? Because within Seller Central, you have all of your information plugged in there, right? So, because right now when I create box shipments, automatically my information, my address here in California is, where it's coming from. So is that what I'm going to send to the supplier?
No,
Or do I need to make those changes?
yeah, you get the supplier's address, and in the shipping plan video, I think I break it down. I know you were listening to it on your headphones or whatever, so if you watch me, I'm behind the computer, like pressing the buttons for you and showing you all that. But
Okay.
yeah, you'll get your supplier's actual address. It might say that on their company profile on Alibaba.
Yes.
Or just ask them, and then you plug that in there, and then that's the address that you're shipping from instead of your home address. And when you ship from your home address, you simply just go back and switch. They'll be saved in there. And then you can switch to your supplier. We're now shipping from there, and it's that easy.
Yeah, okay, because that does make a difference when Amazon goes to calculate those shipping fees, and it would be a terrible thing for someone to get caught up in some trouble and, say they're shipping something from California to a warehouse in Sacramento, California, which I've got and which I do, but really it's coming from China. If Amazon gets light of that, you can get in some serious trouble, basically.
Actually, no, you'll be surprised, and I was actually kind of surprised at how they know this, because if you're shipping from in the U.S., they'll, how they charge you the box price when you ship from the U.S. They don't do that with China. They just print you the box labels with no charge. You're paying your supplier the money for shipping from them, and Amazon prints the box labels, and then you just give them to your supplier, and there's no payment made in Amazon for your shipping plan when you're shipping overseas.
Really? So who's paying for the shipping?
You give the money to the supplier for shipping, and they pay for it. You just give them the address that you're going to ship to. And sometimes, like I say, you just estimate Dallas, Texas. That's where a lot of things get shipped. Maybe you're in Cali, so they send you to that, I forgot the San something fulfillment center. But yeah, you'll be surprised when you put in that Chinese address. You just straight up print the box labels, and it's no charge. And then you're paying your supplier the shipping. They just put it on the box, and then you've already paid, so they ship it in for you.
Okay, so who are you recommending for, or do you have any recommendations for a freight forwarder?
I always just go with my supplier. I like keeping things as straightforward as possible. That's why I'm looking for the manufacturer/trading company, so that they have skills. Not only are they the lowest price because they're the manufacturer, but they're a trading company, so they have skills shipping. I don't really do the freight forwarder thing. I literally just see what's the cost of shipping that my supplier is going to give me, and I'll rally off like 5 of the same messages in the beginning to like 5 different suppliers, see who's going to give me the best cost at the end of the day. And with my recent shipment, I mean, it's like 1.5 pounds, and I did everything by sea, and it was just $1 per unit to ship. Just super cheap.
Not bad. That's not bad. That's really good. So basically, you're just letting your supplier take care of all of that, of the logistics part.
Yeah.
Okay. Good deal. Okay, moving right along here. When we're building the listing and we want the stellar listing, to launch onto page 1. I know that Helium 10 has a lot of very, very in-depth videos and how-to tutorials on the keyword research. I've watched and listened to a few of those. They get very, very detailed on how to do that using Cerebral, using Black Box, etc., on how to pick the right keywords. I actually launched a couple of products where I actually literally paid a VA that was very someone on Fiverr that knew a lot about keyword research. Paid him like $100, and he had all the keywords and all the things set up. But what do you recommend when it comes to finding those terms, finding those keywords? Because that's super, super important. That's probably one of the, if not important things when you create this listing.
Now, the number one thing for your listing is that main image. Like your keywords, of course, yes, of course, it's pretty easy to put in the name of your product, and over time it'll show up. But the real thing that you'll notice, the main thing is really having a stellar main image, and you might want to go in and get the 3D rendered designs. I think I talk about that in product photos. Yes. Just spend that little extra money. I was just watching a webinar of a guy who did 1.5 million in sales in his first 18 months. And he's just talking about all the different groups he's in and the help he's gotten. And he's all talking about just the angle of your product in the image is made a huge difference in his conversion factor. And there's another website called PickFu, PICFU, PickFu or something. And it can split test the images. So you'll put an image you think is really good here and an image that you think is really good here, and the people will vote on which one they like the best. And then you get the idea of the regular consumer, and then you go with that image, and you can, it's really good for that because main images are key. But now the key words, you want to really weigh the first few words in your title with the best keyword that you want to rank for. And I mean, simply, I'll go in and look at the top 5 competitors or top 10 competitors, just copy and paste all of their titles and bullets and descriptions in another Word document, and then I'll construct my title based on all of what they're doing. Because, I mean, the successful people are always going to leave breadcrumbs to what got them successful. So if they're showing up for all these main keywords and those are the main keywords, that's great. And I use those a lot of the times to create my titles and bullets and description. But now with Cerebro, you can take the ASINs of those top 5 people, plug them into Cerebro. It's going to reverse keyword search all of their little keywords that they're ranking for the most. And you just see what the search volume is next to the keywords. And if they're really relevant, of course, you're going to want to throw those in your listing. And at the end of the day, it really comes down to, even if you have the best keywords, you need to get sales, because that's going to build your sales history. And in the beginning, Cerebro also shows you how many keywords your listing is even ranking for in the beginning. So when you put your brand new listing in there, it'll say like, based on, your listing, maybe you're only showing up for 50 keywords or something, and you're on random pages for that. But after you make a few more sales, you'll immediately start expanding to, now you have 300 keywords under that you're showing up for on Amazon, then 1,000, then 2,000. And these people that are at the top have made so many sales that you plug in their ASINs and they're showing up for like 5,000, 8,000 keywords. And that's why they're making a lot of sales. It's not just about ranking to page 1 for one keyword, your best keyword. There's millions of little, anomaly weird keywords people might type in, and that's why you have the keyword or the back end keywords area where you can throw in Spanish spellings or things like that you don't want to just throw on the main listing because it might not make sense to people. But if you just throw them in the back end, you might be ranking for other weird keywords, misspellings, things like that. But really, yeah, just take a look at the top competitors and maybe some Cerebro.
Okay. So basically, going off of the top competitors, seeing what they're ranking from when you do the use the Helium 10, and you could see what words they're ranking from. Use some of those words and basically do a test trial and see where you rank and where you go from there based on those words. Right.
Exactly.
Okay. Good. Okay. And launching, ranking, basically, it's just a matter of getting a few reviews, maybe doing some giveaways and having some folks do some purchases, and that's how you eventually rank, as well as using the early reviewer program, I think is what it's called. Is that correct?
Right.
Utilizing that as well.
Yeah, I haven't even used that, but because it's like $60 and then you're getting 5 reviews or whatever. I mean, I straight up might even do lately with my launches, I get a really dang good image. That's how I get into my products in the first place. I see what other people's main images are, and I see, well, if I bundle something with this or I do a 2-pack and get a really good image that stands out, that's what's going to make me sales. Not my title, not my bullets. It's the image and the price point is what's going to determine the sales I'm going to make. I wanted to say what I do with my recent launches is I might get, if you get too many unverified reviews really quickly, that might flag something in Amazon and they'll shut down your ability to gain reviews. So I might get like 1 or 2 of those spaced over like a week, like one day, and then 5 days later I'll get 1 more. And that the person doesn't even need to buy the product, and they have the unverified review button there. You can just go down to the bottom of the listing. It says write a review.
Yep.
You press that, and that's for someone that maybe bought it in Walmart and just wants to leave a review there. So I kind of tie those reviews in that way and say, hey, I tried this product at a friend's house. It was really good. Can't wait to get it myself. And just so you know, you have some text there, that's great, but it's more about just having that little 5-star there in the top for people to be like, okay, someone rated it a good rating. You just maybe do that with 2, and then you can start turning on PPC and watch the course videos on how I do my low bid strategy or whatever.
Yeah.
And if you have a good image, a couple reviews, and a, you know, a big coupon or a low price point, it's just going to start selling itself. That's why you have to go in and make
Right.
sure the product is a no-brainer to everyone that you're getting. That's how you're going to stand out.
Absolutely.
And then you get a few more
Absolutely.
friends to buy it under the keyword you want to rank for, get some verified reviews. Before you know it, you have 5 reviews, and you can lower the price of your product so that, you know, they're only paying $10 for it. Even if it's a $50 product, just lower it to like 10, 20 bucks, and you'll still get those verified reviews, and you won't have to pay your friends back 50 bucks every time, you know?
Right. So what about search, find, buy? Do you utilize that?
Yeah, so in the course I talk about like one of the OG methods I used to go from like page 30 or whatever with a super competitive product I used to have to page 1 pretty quickly. I think I made a video way back on my channel about it. Was literally people just typing in my keyword, going back to page 30, and in the course I show you, you can just, once you're on page 2, you can go to the URL, and in where it'll say page equals 2, delete that, say page equals 33, and then you'll shoot to page 33. You'll find my product. They'll buy it, and you're immediately within like 2 sales going to shoot up to page 4 or something really quick.
Right. Right.
And then
Right.
just do that a couple more times, and you'll be getting closer and closer to page 1 for that main keyword. And then I might do some of that. I haven't even had to do it lately because I get to page 1 with my products without even doing that, just with PPC launch kind of thing. But if you do that on top of it, it's going to help so much more. And then your friends are going to leave you those verified reviews along with it. And it's pretty good. Just don't have really close friends do it. They might know that Amazon can tell if it's a super close friend.
Right. Right. So that's what's referred to as search, find, buy is the that process.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because I thought search, find, buy was a venue of some sort, was a website or something.
I mean, yeah, all these websites mimic that, but you have to pay them a ton of money, and then they have a pool of buyers that may be already flagged by Amazon as people who are just these buying at discount, leaving review type people, and then you can get caught in some issues. So that's why I just have, you don't need 1,000 reviews or whatever right away. Just get like 10 reviews, even 5 reviews is fine. But, you know, I mean, if your product stands out and you have a few reviews, people are going to buy it.
So what do you think works better, the search, find, buy method, as you just mentioned, or giving somebody a URL link?
So that's why I updated the course with, you know, the 2-step URL thing, because it basically does the same exact thing. It produces a unique QID, so a special timestamp unique to when that person, it will basically mimic, the URL mimics a person actually going to that page and finding it under that keyword. So that's the same thing, you know. I do that now. I don't really I haven't done that in years where I tell people to go back to page 30 and buy it from there. But that would technically be the most organic, wholesome type thing. Amazon's algorithm is updating constantly. So sooner or later, maybe they'll catch on to this stuff, even if it has a unique timestamp for it mimicking someone going to find it on that page. I mean, search, find, buy is as organic as you're going to get.
Right. Okay. Okay. So that's the closest you can get. Okay. Another thing is, towards the end of the course, you mentioned Instagram. You started talking about Instagram. So what you're saying is that you can actually create an Instagram page or an Instagram account for your product. Okay. Aside from your personal IG account. And so if you have a product you're selling, you can take a good picture of it. And you went through how you can go out and capture the audience. You know, let's say this is a calligraphy pen, and there's people out there that are into writing, into artistic writing. And so I can go out and capture those artists, those people that love art, you know, calligraphy, and follow them through that Instagram product page and back and forth, like their stuff, and then basically solicit the product when it's ready to launch to those people. Is that how that works? Did I just basically explain that correctly?
Yeah, you're pretty much good. And I have one video I have in there. I think I preface it by saying this tool doesn't specifically work right now, but there's other tools out there. There's literally thousands of tools that'll follow people, and then you can unfollow the ones that didn't follow you back. So you can just do a quick like search on that. But everyone says that when you do that now, it kind of shadow bans you. But you can manually go in there and follow. First, I would have like, 3, 6, 9 photos. So when someone clicks on your page, it actually has 9 photos on it. It looks legit. You're not putting all your product photos. You're doing like lifestyle stuff, a product image maybe from your Amazon listing, and then a lifestyle photo, then a product, then lifestyle, switch it up and just, kind of make your page look attractive. And then you'll go and follow people that might like that stuff. And just, you can like their thing and reach out to them with a message. There's automations to send messages out to tons of people and then saying, hey, like we're doing a new launch with our product. If you want to get this for a huge discount, like just send me a DM. You might get some messages, whether it's a fitness product, a pet product, whatever it is. People want your product, hopefully, because you're going to find a good product that people want. And then you're going to hook them up with a discount. They can buy it. You can reimburse them, whatever the way may be. And then you can give them that 2-step URL because they might not want to go search, find, buy it. That's a little cumbersome.
Right.
But
right.
that's where you have the 2-step URL, and I have the link tree set up. I might have put that in the course as well, where you can have multiple links. So you can have that 2-step URL for your one product. If you have another product, it's one link on your Amazon bio that'll allow you to have like 5 different links, just like mine has the Amazon course, YouTube, Facebook page within one link. And you can just start with that link, have it in the bio. You can have that even be a created special link that has a massive coupon already attached to it or something. And there's just so many ways to do it, like so many ways.
Right. Okay. Now, what about posting like ads, like Facebook, Instagram ads about your product?
That's what a lot of drop shippers do, and that stuff usually costs a lot of money, and you probably would want to hire someone. Like I just started running ads for my course, and I paid an agency like $3,500 to run ads for my course now, which is actually getting good leads. But you can spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars and maybe see just a handful of sales out of that or something, So I would keep all my advertising right inside of Amazon. That's where people are already looking to buy. They're not looking to buy on Facebook. They already get hit with so many ads every day that your product literally has to be like how to reduce 10 years of your life or something that's really gonna make people like go out of their way to, and then let alone buy it. I wouldn't worry about the Facebook ads for any time soon. I don't do that with my products right now. I just have the Instagram, and you could do that. I could spend a little more money and maybe for my beauty brand, get some people that know ads and then throw my ad. First, I need a good piece of content. I need graphic designer and a video editor for my actual like product, make a crazy product ad. And maybe if I have that awesome video, then it's worth getting out there with some ads on IG, leading them back to my IG page that I've already created for my product, and then funneling them in from there.
Right. Got it. Okay. The only other thing, and I'm sure it's in the course somewhere, I didn't search any further, but one of the most important things for me is actually tracking your capital and tracking your inventory, your margins, basically your accounting. So I don't know if you did you post like a resources link in there where you have some Excel or some Google Drive sheets. Really what I want to do is just have a layout. Okay, here's the product. This is my landing cost. This is what I'm selling at Amazon. This is how many units. Just the overall broad spectrum for every product that will show the margins, the price. I could just look at this thing and just basically see everything there. Do you have something like that?
I show you, there's so many different Excel sheets, and I use one that's probably a little different than exactly what you're talking about. And you may find one out there. I think I saw one on a video that goes all the specifics of each product, but mine will just have, because I have multiple products now, so I just keep track of the profit that I know is there. And then I have a column for PPC and refunds and things like that.
Right.
It'll subtract from my total. But there is a video that I show you kind of how to make one yourself. Because if I just give you the template and then you start a new product, I actually should go in and make one that is kind of like that. But right now, it's I was just getting a call. But right now the template I have doesn't have all the little additions up to finding your little profit at the end, because I go in and see on Amazon's transaction view the money they're putting in
Right.
my pocket for each product. And that's repeated every single time unless I change the price. So, I mean, I know what my product is. So I literally just have how many sales a day I made times that profit margin. And then I just kind of add that up each day. And then at the end of the month, I'll put my PPC at the bottom, any refunds I have, and then it gives me my total at the end. So there is kind of that accounting video in there, but I could probably go out of my way to make a nicer one that's a little more streamlined just for like each product that has a ton of data on just that one product. I don't really have that.
Yeah, but I think you also mentioned a software. I don't remember the name of the software. I wrote it down somewhere.
Taxjar.
But what was that?
I think it's TaxJar. There's TaxJar that has tons of Amazon accounting. There's Fetcher by Jungle Scout. There's all these other ones. And honestly, you don't have to worry about getting into these big softwares because it's really easy in the beginning to account for just one product. I mean, it's pretty easy, and it's all there laid in your transaction view on Amazon. It'll show the statement view, but then you go to the
Right.
transaction view and it will show you each item that's sold, any coupons taken out of that, whatever, what have you. And then it gives you the money they're putting back in your account. And then you just subtract your product costs from that. And then you know your exact profit.
Right. Okay, got it. Okay.
And
All from there.
I can even take you real quick 5 minutes and just show you like an idea of how I bundle things real quick. If I can screen record,
Yeah.
show you quick.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it.
Okay, so I'll just share this and I hope you can see all this fine. I'll just go
Yep.
into Amazon and then I can do something like, let's just say like shower curtain, and then you know you can do suggested keywords. It says shower curtain and I just type in E. So then, you know, just for the example, we'll say shower curtain elephant right here. And now we pop up
Right.
elephant shower curtains and everything looks the same, you know, and this is not what we want to do. We don't want to get the same idea as everybody else. Even though they're different designs, that's not what we want. We want to find an item that's easily bundleable, like these elephant, you know, shower curtain rings, and then we throw those with the shower curtain itself. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's $15 plus $23. That's already $38. Now, if you just sell the shower curtain with the hangers for $29.99, that's a no-brainer all day for people to go buy this instead of paying $40. And it's something that, you know, you're probably going to want to buy if you're buying an elephant shower curtain, or it'd be nice to have with it. Now, on top of that,
Yeah, you want to.
on top of that, you can even find like maybe they have like an elephant shower like floor mat. And then I've seen bundles like this before where it's the curtain and a floor mat and something like that, and it sells for like $40. So if you're doing a curtain with the floor mat and the little rings, I mean, that's, and then you're selling it for, like, look, right here is exactly what I'm talking about. Frequently bought together. They want the liner, the plastic liner, because this is a cloth, you know, shower curtain itself, so that can't get wet. So you need the liner with it. Bundle the liner with the curtain, add in the cool elephant rings, the shower curtain ring holders, and a little floor mat, and sell it for like $39.99. Hopefully your product cost is only around $10 for all that. And you would make insane amounts of sales with that, because a floor, I mean, this alone here is $45. And then if you're doing a floor mat, that's an extra, you know, $15. So people be spending $60 for that kit. You want to make that, you want to make sure that all the items in your kit when bought separately are going to be like way more expensive than what you're actually going to sell it at. So then it's a full on no.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No, that seems to make pretty good sense. Basically, you know, finding a product and bundling it with other things. You're going to create a new listing, and put it together, and then basically launch it from there. There were a couple of products that I was doing some research on that I'm going to continue to inquire with the suppliers, and I've seen the same thing, and I've read the reviews, and trying to correlate what the customers are saying based on the reviews and try to fulfill what the customers are saying.
And the thing that you really are going to want to do, and that's what exactly I heard from the $1.5 million guy in 18 months. He said, you can compete. He went into categories, and my dad even had success doing the fitness trackers, which I thought were super competitive, and he killed it there. And I was like, holy crap. So you can compete with these people if you have amazing images. And that's why you really want to pay a lot for like 3D rendered designs, just crazy awesome images, just destroy walls images and all these other guises. And I mean, that's the bundle everyone wants. And with the quarantine thing, like people, I mean, want that even more now. So
Right, exactly. And so that's what I'm doing. Basically, it's going in production now. I finalized everything, approved everything. We're going to go 30% for each particular product. We're going to go 30% on each one, and at the end, pay the remaining 70%. What's really cool is that Alibaba has these new terms now, that if the suppliers are on board, you can actually set up terms with Alibaba. Alibaba will pay the suppliers, and then you pay Alibaba 60 days out. So 60-day net terms with zero interest. So it's a pretty good little deal that they got going on there.
dude, that's awesome. And this call has been really good. Like, I'm really excited for that product you just shared with me, because even though it's a lot more competitive, there's probably sales that are just insane right now. Like,
well, I look at, when I run the X-ray, these guys are blowing it out. They're doing 200,000 a month in revenue, 100,000. If this one product, I could net $3,000 a month, I'll be happy with that, So, and so I'm hoping that it'll do more than that, One last thing before we move on is that I wanted to talk about trademark and not so much trademark, but patents. So there was another product that I'm considering to launch, and this particular company says it's patented. And then they said it's made in the USA. The fact of the matter is, I did some deep research, and I found out it's really not made in the USA, because I found their product, the exact same picture. I mean, the exact same angle, lighting, and everything on Alibaba, right? And so they're saying it's patented, but it's in China. And so I did a Google patent check. I used every possible keyword I can think of. I even used the doctor's name, the company's name, couldn't find anything. Then I went to USPTO, did the same thing. I typed in every possible keyword, and all the reviews are saying, man, I wish they sold these in a 2-pack. Man, I wish I could buy 2 of these at a time. I had to go back and buy another one, because they're only selling 1 unit for like $24.99 on Alibaba and $16.88. Have you heard of $16.88?
mm-hmm. Yeah.
Same thing. I found it for 50 cents. So they're making a killing off this one product,
Is it
and so
is it just one seller selling the whole thing right now?
One seller. And so I reached out to a supplier and I said, hey, can you make this? And they said, yeah, we could make that, but we would need the mold. We would need the 3D design. We don't make that one. And then what's interesting is that Chinese supplier says, and we can't make that specific brand. After doing a deep dive with the USPTO and Google Patents, and I'm finding nothing, should I still pull the trigger on this one?
So 2 things that I would do is see if there's, I mean, sometimes I just ask the supplier up front, do you have the patent for this item? And sometimes they do, because these guys, Accu, whatever, they're probably sourcing it from overseas. I doubt they're making it like in-house or whatever. And, I mean, it is kind of fishy that there's only one listing of this type of thing up there, but it could be their just brand name that's trademarked, but the product is patented by a supplier, and you just ask suppliers, do you have the patent for this, whatever, this type of one? Maybe, I don't know the design of it, but if you could make a design that's a little different or whatever, then it probably would.
That's exactly what I've done. I've made a design that's a little bit different. It looks totally different. It's going to have a different logo. It looks different, but the functionality of the product is the same.
So what I would also do is try and, even as your Amazon account, just as a buyer, I would go to the guy's website or his, just ask a question. They might even have their phone number there, and you can like send, hey, do you guys have is this a ask them in a way that it's not like you're trying to go sell it, but hey, I'm interested in
Right.
the product. Like, is this a patented type item? If there's some way you can word that to them and see if they themselves will say, yes, we have
Yeah.
a patent and here's the actual document, then you're like, okay. So I would actually, if you're really curious, I would reach out, find a good wording and send them a message asking if they have a patent, if you can somehow see like where they can look that up because you're really interested in maybe getting these for your chiropractic place or something like that, you know, or I don't know.
Right. Well, your dad's a chiropractor, right? Isn't
Yeah.
your dad a chiropractor?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought. That's it. That's interesting. We're talking about this. So, anyways, that's another one that I'm considering to launch. But again, I just want to make sure that I'm going to be safe there, that I'm not going to go out and get into some legal trouble. Worst case thing is probably they'll just to be a cease and desist letter at first, or a warning from an attorney. Okay, cut. We're done. We're out of here. You know,
And
they're not gonna initially hit me with a lawsuit right off the bat. You know, so.
even
I
easier,
guess, you know.
yeah, even easier than that is, you know, you just test it with 50 units or something. That's literally like 25
Exactly.
bucks or something. So it's like you don't have
Right.
much to lose there, $50 startup cost, and just, you know, see what happens. That there's no way Amazon's going to just shut your account down. The Amazon doesn't want lawsuits. Other people don't want to spend all this money for that. Yeah, there's not a huge real risk in a small order quantity testing things out after you ask them, do you have a patent? And you exhausted all other means of seeing what the deal is going to be.
Right. It's just a matter of mitigating the risk. So,
Right.
anyways, I mean, I have nothing else. I mean, I'm just working on those few. I've got a couple other products that I'm considering. And ultimately, really, right now, my goal is, you know, we're in July, is in Q3. I want to be able to really just kill it in Q4. So I'm actually preparing for Q4 now. I'm planning, getting some products ready. And by the time Q4 hits, it's basically, you know, in the warehouses, and we're just going to go from there.
Perfect, man. Yeah, definitely. That's what they were also saying on the video I watched last night. Like, prepare now for Q4. So get those test orders in, you know, make sure it's going to work. And the second you start seeing, hey, sales are coming in, I would place another pretty big order or whatever and just get those things in there. The guy who did the 1.5 million in 18 months said he literally failed with his first 3 products, never got a course, lost 25 grand, then maxed out 3 credit cards and went in 150K on one product just to get thousands of units of inventory. And he was competing against people with 4,000 reviews, all these Fortune 500 companies, and he just got really good images and made the product really good and appealing, and it just took off for him. So you can compete with these competitive people. So that's something I want to look into more as time goes on. I mean, I've just spending so much time like helping people, making videos, building up the other personal brand side of things, but I'm still consistently launching new products every month. I have 2 more in the pipeline getting in production now. Really excited about that. And it's just a freaking roller coaster, man. I love it.
Yeah, that's cool, man. That's cool. You're staying busy. So what are you going to do when you get like 400 students? How are you going to handle all this?
So I'm going to cut off the mentorship for like the $500 course thing here probably by the end of the month once I come out with this next update, and just say like, hey, like we have the student group for you, but the 1-hour calls and stuff, like that's just going to be reserved for the $1,000 mentorship level of the course kind of thing, which is still a bargain because these other courses are still twice the price.
Absolutely.
And then, and then I'll start doing like live streams in the Facebook group. And just when I have all these tons of questions coming, I'll be like, hey, chime in every Saturday at noon or at 2 p.m. And I'll be doing like a live stream there where I can answer everyone's questions kind of thing. And that didn't get the expensive course because, you know, I want to scale it and help as many people as possible. This is literally the passion that I have. Like seeing you, hearing your ideas of what you're going to be doing and thinking that I had some part in that is just freaking awesome.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. And honestly, I probably would not have moved forward if I wouldn't have taken your course. And, you know, I had some thoughts in my mind already of how things worked, but I wasn't sure. But, you know, when I watched your videos, what that did for me is it solidified it. It was like, okay, that's what I was thinking. That's what he's saying. Okay, we're probably on the same track. Let me move forward then. You know, because you have those feelings of uncertainty and you know, as an entrepreneur, you're going to take the risk, you know, and that's where you're going to find the opportunities is inside the risks. But sometimes, man, you take a lot of risk and you start questioning yourself and you wonder, but, you know, in your videos, it kind of just cleared all the murky waters, you know, when it came to private label and sourcing from China. It really cleared it up. And some products may not work out. We got to be honest with ourselves. We move on, go on to the next product, you know, and go from there. Absolutely. And then, like I said, let's get together again in like after Q4, man, because I'm curious to know where I'll be at.
Probably if you're doing a bundle that's standing out, maybe look for other keywords that would have that kit in it and see what your real competition is that has the whole kit with it. And then, you know, you can see more keywords that have different kits versus just the thing itself versus just the clipper, you know, see what kits are already there and, you know, dive in more research from there.
Absolutely. Sounds good.
Awesome, man. Well, I'll let you get back to your day. And